Does YouTube feed qualities of narcissistic personality based on the metrics and expectations of content creators who participate in this platform? One thing about the devil is the greatest trick that he pulls on people is fooling them into believing that he doesn't exist, and that the tactics and traps, strategies, challenges, barriers that are placed before people to reach their full potential are just essentially either all in their heads, individual and insulated, where these things can not be valid reasonings or reasons for the person's difficulties in their life. He has a really unique way of warping people's perception around things that he does. Very manipulative. If you just really look at how Satan approached people who were on the right path and determined to draw closer to God and exemplifying biblical principles, he didn't just directly attack these people. He didn't just come out right and say, I don't want these people to go to heaven, or I don't want these people to attain righteousness. He had a very slick, sort of strategic way of questioning the sort of almost like a gaslighting, doubting. Satan has a really unique way of making a person question their sanity or question even their intentions. And narcissism, is a quality of the devil. If I can get you to focus all of your resources on yourself, that furthers the agenda of the enemy. And YouTube has drawn away from becoming a platform and a space of just originality and people creating just for the pureness of connection and community. And with the rise in the emphasis on monetization, premium subscriptions, brand advertisement, and a lot of the strict rules that comes with that in this attention economy that we live in, YouTube is founded on an attention economy. The more your personality and ability to sustain the viewer's attention and to get them to buy into viewing your channel, we're going to provide a metric in data that can track and capture sort of like the value of your ability to sustain the attention in other people. And human nature naturally is geared towards selfishness, self righteousness, ego, pride. You don't have to have really a successful YouTube channel to be vulnerable to leading with this sort of, first instinct of survival and prioritizing yourself. So this isn't just a dynamic that's necessarily limited to YouTube, but a lot of the metrics and features that YouTube is slowly in an unconscious way promoting and strengthening, it just kind of brings the human back to focusing on self and really maximizing this. And could this be the breeding grounds for promoting the propaganda of popularizing self and the cult of personality at the expense of the original intention of connecting to your fellow human being? In order for you to connect with people, there has to be a degree of selflessness because the person next to you may not necessarily be going through what you're going through or experiencing what you're experiencing. And the skill of being able to step into other people's shoes and relate to other people requires a degree of like selflessness. But we're in this stage now where I don't necessarily have to connect or I have to relate to you. I just need to get your buy in. I just need to convince you that my particular interpretation, my feedback, my views is better than the next person, right? What I got going over here is better than what they got going on over there. So I wanted to do some research on this. Like, is YouTube becoming the breeding ground for this sort of subtle unconscious acceptance in the humanity today of sort of convincing them that it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to expect this undying admiration from your fan base. It's about you. This is all about you. Don't worry about them. Is this something that's being fed to us and promoted to us? So I did some research on this, and there have been studies done on this. So it says here the stronger argument isn't that YouTube creators are narcissists, but that YouTube creates an environment where certain narcissistic traits can be rewarded, reinforced, and even monetized. Narcissism involves traits such as grandiosity, excessive need for admiration, entitlement, interpersonal exploitation, reduced empathy, envy, status comparison, and arrogance. Having some of these traits doesn't mean someone has narcissistic personality disorder. The more interesting question is whether spending years in an environment built around attention could strengthen some of them. YouTube creates a unique psychological situation because the creator often becomes part of the product. Your face is the thumbnail. Your opinions generate views. Your personality builds the audience. And your personal experiences can become content. At the same time, YouTube gives you numerical measurements of how much attention you're receiving through views, likes, subscribers, comments, retention, and watch time. Once monetization enters the equation, attention isn't merely emotional or emotionally rewarding. Attention can become money. That creates a reinforcement loop. First, you have the stage of expressing yourself. Next comes receiving attention. Then third comes receiving validation, status, then potentially receiving money, and then you rinse and repeat. The concern isn't that YouTube automatically creates narcissism. It's that someone can enter the platform simply wanting to communicate something meaningful and gradually learn which versions of themselves receive the greatest reward. So, this is where you may have content creators who may come onto the platform calm, professional, regulated. They're communicating to the people, they're speaking to the experiences of the community. They're coming in humble, but they only got 200 views. Okay. They're only getting maybe, if they get 100 views, maybe 5 or 6 likes, no feedback. But then they notice when they come in and they talk about gossip. Hey, so and so, they didn't cheat on their baby mama. Hey, what's up with this brother Young Pharaoh? Why is he all jacked up? Hey, I heard about what's going on with you. 10,000 views, right? 15. What does that do to a person's psychology? If they're trying, money is a funny thing. It's very manipulative and deceptive because it's a loaded sort of reality that has so many meanings, right? When you think about money, you think about feeding your children. You think about money, you think about paying your mortgage. When you think about money, you think about donating. When you think about money, you think about it's so loaded, right? So this is why conversations around people's money is sensitive, because you don't know what meanings they're leveraging, right? They might think you're attacking their ability to take care of their children, right? You might think they're attacking their ability to take care of their families, right? But that's not just the only thing that money is limited to. Okay. Money can also put you on this hamster wheel of behaviors that are not really serving you long term, that you tend to minimize or you overlook because you're so focused on trying to earn. You're so determined to increase your value and your monetization that you miss out on some of the dark qualities that you're exhibiting and you're manifesting, to where it's like, well, to hell with it. This makes money. Making fun of others, gossiping. That gives me greater views. When I come in humble, Randy, when I come in professional and making it all about the community and being nice, I don't get paid shit. So just something to think about, right? And again, it's that someone can enter the platform simply wanting to communicate something meaningful and gradually learn which versions of themselves receive the greatest reward. If outrage gets more views, become more outraged. If personal drama performs, disclose more drama. If criticizing others generates engagement, criticize more people. We need you to criticize more. If people constantly tell you you're brilliant, eventually you might start believing your perspective deserves special importance. Creators think they're learning how to work the algorithm. But the deeper question is whether the algorithm is also teaching creators who to become. Okay. So, some qualities of narcissistic personality disorder. I know this is a loaded term. I'm not saying if you're on YouTube, you're eligible and you meet the criteria for a narcissistic personality disorder. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the platform is really subtly, how the devil works, when he's making changes and transitions and really trying to impact your psychology in a negative and dark way, that not isn't necessarily for all intensive purposes to bring you to the glory and the honor of the creator, of the most high God. It's more so to just glorify yourself. He moves very subtly. He doesn't really speak loudly, like, hey, by the way, I'm changing this platform to a platform for darkness. He does very subtle changes that you don't even really think deeply about. Like, for example, going from 4,000 to 8,000 hours. This is why I determined early on that I don't want to be monetized. I don't want to get into this system of having to perform, this sort of like minstrel show of having to perform and dance and censor myself and lose a sense of my freedom because of a paycheck and because of the expectations of keeping that monetization. I'm just not interested. So for me, it's not about any jealousy. It's not about any envy or any like, oh, I'm so damn mad because I can't get monetized. No, it's just I'm okay financially independent of YouTube. So I can, when you have worked hard, see, a lot of us have lost the meaning of hard work, and maybe we're not exposed to a lot of people who've worked hard and who got it from the mud. But when you get it from the mud and you work hard, it kind of relinquishes you and frees you from having to be slave to a dollar. I know it's a little old school, but that's sort of like the cloth I'm cut from. So, I make pretty good money. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm my own boss. I mean, I'm not broke. I'm not really tripping about it. So it's not, for me, it's, you know, this isn't, oh, because I want to get monetized and I'm mad you are. It's nothing about that. It's just, I'm for the people fiercely, especially my people, the black man, okay, and the black woman. Anybody else who can learn and grow from that, you like it, I love it. But I can only influence my people. So I'm not apologizing for anything. I'm talking to the black man here. And here are some of the qualities of narcissistic personality disorder. One, a grandiose sense of self importance. Content creation requires repeatedly presenting your perspective as something other people should stop and listen to. Success can reinforce the belief that your opinions carry unusual importance. Millions of views can potentially shift someone from people enjoy my perspective towards people need my perspective. Question: does constantly being rewarded for giving your opinion eventually change how important you believe your opinion is? Two, fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Creator culture constantly displays subscriber milestones. For example, this salute to the brother Kai Sinat. I think the Streamer University idea is a great opportunity to, I think I talk a lot about how brothers, I think in our Black community, we need to do more for supporting and encouraging the younger Black brothers in our community. So I think Kai Sinat is doing that through Streamer University, where he's using his platform to leverage opportunities for people who may either be up and coming or who may have some, it's just an opportunity to help put people on, essentially. So I believe the intention is good. I watched a little bit of his recent Streamer University, and this is just my opinion. Okay. And this is no shot against him or anything that he's doing. But there were some streamers on there that I felt like were an embarrassment, not only to the content creator culture, but to fucking manhood and humanity. I'm just like, damn. When I go outside and I go back and forth to the grocery store, just doing everyday parenting stuff, people are not that pressed about you like that. And if anything, people are growing more selfish and inward, and not for all bad purposes. People got their own problems and their own stuff to worry about. They're not that worried about you. So people are doing their own thing. So to see for these content creators put this narrative out of I'm willing to embarrass myself and put myself out there like a damn circus animal for what? For viewers? I was like, this shit is embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. And a lot of these motherfuckers are in their 30s, mid 20s and 30s ain't like it used to be. And I'm not perfect. I'm not a saint, but that shit for me, it just felt embarrassing. I'm just like, damn, this is content creator culture. And don't get me wrong, it seems like it's becoming this thing where it's kind of like, hey man, you got to kind of do what you got to do to win. You got to kind of do what you got to do to get viewership. If I come up on here being regular, Randy, what the fuck? They see regular every day. So that's not going to get me anywhere. I got to be a fucking, I got to be wild. I got to be the dancing monkey and shit. That shit it just disappointed me just as a Black man. I'm like, damn. So shit like that, it's like, damn, is this what the content creator universe is becoming? A culture that's more dependent on doing whatever I got to do to get a fucking paycheck over my ethics, my principles. What message am I sending out for the youth into the world? It's like, to hell with whatever this impacts on my community, to hell with what this might mean for people who look like me. Fuck them. This is about me and getting mine. All right. I'm not with that. I'm not fucking with that. And you guys don't give a fuck about me. I get that. And I love that. Because I'm free. Don't give a fuck about me. I can just do my thing. Right. So I'm not knocking that. But I feel like there's somebody out there that's listening and that kind of can relate. Like, yeah, dude, this shit is crazy. This content creator culture and what it's becoming. Grandiose sense of self-importance, right? Fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, ideal love. Creator culture constantly displays subscriber milestones, viral videos, wealth, sponsorships, and celebrity lifestyle. And why wouldn't these elites want you guys to be some damn monkeys for a paycheck? Why wouldn't they? They that committed to you. They love you, motherfuckers. Oh, okay. So you got in at the 4,000 watch hours. That mean that these higher ups love you more. That's what that means. They value you more. They care so much about your value and your ethics and your worth. That's why. Fuck no. Not at all. Do what you need to do to get these viewers in, to get these brands in, so this platform can so we can get our money. We don't give a fuck about you. And if you can't keep this milestone, we're gonna put your ass out the program. All right? So go out there and do what you gotta do. All right? Sometimes you gotta be objective. Lord forbid someone has a damn opinion that's different from yours, right? Lord forbid someone's objective and truthful in this world today without you losing your fucking mind, right? Oh my God, you're hating. Oh my God, they're so jealous. Oh my God, they're just so bad at me. Really? Really? Are there people that are potentially out there like that? I'm sure. Is it everybody though? I doubt it. A creator can become preoccupied with the next milestone, 10K, 100K, 100 mil subscribers. Success becomes something that can always be expanded. Question: at what point does creating something meaningful become chasing recognition? Three, the belief that you're special, right? Or unique successful creators often build audiences around the idea that they provide something other people cannot. Followers may reinforce this when nobody tells us the truth. Like you're so different from everybody else, right? Repeated praise could potentially strengthen an exaggerated sense of uniqueness. Okay. Question: what happens when thousands of people repeatedly tell you that you're different from everybody else? Four, the narcissist requires excessive admiration. This is probably one of the clearest overlaps with the creator economy. Views, likes, comments, subscribers, shares, watch time literally quantify attention. Creators can begin checking analytics repeatedly after uploading. Poor performance can affect their mood, right? Their sense of self. I fell into this shit when I was starting to create videos, and sometimes I still fucking do it. I'm like, Randy, why the fuck are you checking YouTube analytics? You already made up your mind. What are you doing? But it just goes to show you how addictive this shit can be. How addictive it is. You're checking analytics. You're looking at every fucking view. You're looking at what works, what doesn't work. You're obsessing. YouTube wants you to be obsessive and like that. That movie Obsession. It wants you to obsess over this shit, right? Poor performance can affect your mood. Viral performance can produce a powerful emotional reward. When does enjoying attention become needing attention? Five, sense of entitlement. A creator might gradually develop expectations, such as my videos deserve more views than this. YouTube should be recommending me. People should subscribe. My audience should support me more. You guys are not supporting me enough. Right. Years of having people listen to you can potentially normalize the expectation of attention. Question: can having an audience eventually make someone feel entitled to having an audience? Right. Just because people subscribe to your channel, like your channel, comment, that's a blessing. But it isn't something that you're entitled to every video, every year. It's not how it works. When people give you something in this world, as much agency as we're giving in this world, when people give you something, whether it's a view, a like, or a subscription, there's still people out here who look at what they give as sacred. YouTube can sometimes make it normalized for you to get likes, get subscribers, and then you start wanting more and more. I'm at the point where I'm like, man, look, I got 1,900 subscribers. Yeah, I got a lot of videos. Even if I get 50, 60 views, 10, 20 views, I'm blessed. I didn't start off seeing it that way. I was arrogant as fuck when I first started. I had to humble myself. Like, dude, if you can get, I had one person tell me yesterday on my live, he was like, man, I actually enjoy your videos. And that shit meant a lot to me. One person, he was like, man, I actually enjoy. Sometimes it's just like, for me, like the small things. I don't need him to give me no money. You know, I don't need that motherfucker to refer me to notable men on LinkedIn. Hey man, I really enjoy your content. I was like, damn, you know, that inspired me to be like, you know what, let me keep going with this shit. Cause sometimes when you don't do it for monetization, that fleshly human part of you is just sort of like, man, fuck it, why even try? Because there is a war between the flesh and the spirit. I am not fucking perfect. All right. Doing shit for free, just because you want to educate and enhance and advance, right, your people, isn't easy. Okay, because it's not free. It costs you your time. It costs you your mental energy. Okay, right now I need to be doing billing for my clients. So picture that. I'm gonna be up all night doing that for doing this video. So it's not easy. Okay. However, long term, when you get just one person to kind of be like, hey man, I appreciate your content, that means a lot. But when you're so used to getting people appreciating your content and liking your content, be careful of crossing to that threshold of feeling like you're entitled to that. Okay. Can having an audience eventually make someone feel entitled to having an audience? Interpersonally exploitive behavior. Other people's experiences can become profitable content. Somebody's divorce may become commentary. Somebody's mental breakdown becomes a reaction video. Now I got to do what I got to do at the expense of you. And this is where I think YouTube is going to feed on itself, and it's going to destroy itself from the inside, ethically and morally, because I have to eat off of you and off of your downfall and off of your challenges and circumstances in life to make sure I stay ahead and I stay paid. And no system or no economy can thrive long term that's built on that. Period. So I hope you guys have a blessed night, man. I got so much billing to do, man. So much work to do. I took the next 2 days off. We're going to go to the Sequoia National Park, take my wife's mother. She's visiting from China. Go take her up there to see the Sequoia, go to Yosemite. Just have a good time and just live life. I'm going to do some videos, some vlogs. I'm going to take some recordings, show you guys the beautiful nature out here in California. It's really good weather right now. So share the experience with you guys. I'm going to try to do a live, but the signal usually fucking sucks. So I'll probably just do like a video. And then upload it so you guys can see like the Sequoia, the Yosemite. I'm gonna try to do a live though, but I doubt it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man. Pray you guys have a good night and just some things to think about. This is just me planting seeds. This is just me planting seeds. It's YouTube becoming the breeding ground for narcissistic qualities in our people. And are they even wise enough and discerning enough to separate themselves from the money to even see it? You guys have a good night, man.